Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Jan Michael Vincent. We're about to do episode 10 here of the old Airwolf show. Hold on one second. Okay, I wonder, is that better? Okay. Here's the thing, we don't do any editing or any other type of shit on this show because it's all me. I'm just a one-man band. As I've brought up in other episodes, I haven't seen one fucking red penny from this fucking thing, so it is what it is. So what's going on here? Why isn't it starting? The fuck? Come on now. Come on, Peacock. Yeah, something's not right. Hold on. Episode hasn't started yet. If you can't tell, I'm having a little technical difficulties. Here we go. We're just gonna skip the intro. Okay. Okay, nothing still. But the time is going? Okay, hold on. Go back. God, I fucking hate technology. You know what I mean? I just really could just do without it sometimes. Being able to see complete strangers naked any hour of the day is a plus, obviously, but the rest of it has just been a fucking pain in the ass. Here we go. Yeah, from the start. Okay, all right, episode starting. Here we go. All right, the old summary. People shooting at me. Hey, David Carradine's in this picture. All right, it's gonna be a pretty good episode. Let me tell you. I'm excited for this one. David Carradine is similar to old Jan Michael here, where he had a real up and down, topsy turvy career. I mean, one minute he was the star of his own TV show. I'm gonna skip the intro just to fucking get into this. But wasn't that just previously? Oh, that's the title. This shit's confusing. But he was the star of Kung Fu, and you know that was a huge cultural phenomenon, that show. And everyone was calling each other grasshopper and shit, and giving each other fucking trite advice and shit. But then he got into booze a little bit and other stuff. I don't need to tell his story. I mean, he's up here. Maybe I'll have him on sometime. But just like old Jan Michael, he had his troubles. Sort of fell out of favor in Hollywood, as they like to say, and was in a lot of B movies. Am I already with the fucking commercial? All right, got a minute commercial here. Just if that means anything to you. Yeah, so he completely was just fucking done, in B movie territory, and I mean some ways C movie territory. At some point during that time, he did write a fantastic autobiography, which I recommend everyone read it, even if you aren't even a fan of David Carradine or whatever. I mean, he actually was a really legit writer. A lot of people don't know that. But he, obviously came back, and got great reviews for that Tarantino hodgepodge called Kill Bill. And he's very good in it, I'm no disrespect. And I think he died jerking off, poor bastard. Look, it's not going to end well for any of us, right? Didn't end well for me. I was down to one leg, you know, and the one I had wasn't all that great. It was probably, you know, on the docket at the surgery place. But you know, David's a lot like me. He just went for it. He went hard. He went hard in the paint of Hollywood, and you know, good, bad. It's all I'm talking about the same shit over and over again every fucking episode. I hope all of you have been well. It's the holiday season. I'm moving this a little bit. I hope that's not too distracting, but got to get a sip of Stroh's here. But it's the holiday season there on Earth, and let me tell you something. If you think Christmas season is crazy on Earth, wait till you get to fucking heaven, man. It is. Uh-oh. We got a cat. What are you doing, Bubba? What are you doing hanging around? Huh? This little cat decided to join me. Used up all 9 lives, now here he is in heaven. Go get yourself something to eat. You've earned it. But, no, they fucking go crazy for that Christmas shit up here, man. The way women are like, birthday week, fucking hitting the Glendale Galleria 5 days in a row for a little shopping and then happy hour sushi. That's what it's like up here with Jesus. I mean, from December 1st to the end of the year, it's like the guy doesn't go fucking 2 minutes without letting you know it's his birthday coming up, And we all have to buy him a present. What the fuck do you get the guy who saved everyone? And I'm sure I don't have to tell you that old JMV is... fuck, am I setting the studio on fire here? JMV is a procrastinator. Except when it came time for happy hour, that was the only time I had a little pep in my step, As soon as 5 o'clock, came around, there I was at the door waiting for the bar to open. But usually I would start the night down there at what the fuck is it called? Why am I forgetting the name of Club Eddie, right? No. Yeah, the King Eddie. What did I say? I don't know why I fucking got that wrong, but yeah, I would start off with a couple pints down there at the King Eddie and kind of work my way back up into Hollywood. But I'm getting off track here. Anyway, I haven't bought Jesus Christ a fucking birthday present yet, and I don't know what to get him, and now I got a cat walking around here who's just going to talk during the whole episode. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Jim Michael's recording a video. Say hi. Say hi. No? You shy all of a sudden? What do you think I should get Jesus for his birthday? I mean, guy's got, cars out the yin yang. Ow. He's got the nice robes. He's got he's got a handful of rings. I mean, because here's the thing. I know what he preached when he was on Earth, but once he got up here, it's Bling City, man. I mean, that guy dresses to the nines, looks like $1 million. He's got that kind of long, his hair. It's not stringy like I would imagine it was, in that dry heat all the time. And up here, man, it's like a lion's mane. I mean, the guy, if he looks at me, he's, a good-looking guy, really. But he's gone for it. and I don't know, man. I think he's read everything. He's a carpenter too, so I mean, he's not lacking for tables and chairs and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, he's a big Jets fan. A lot of people, that might surprise you, but he loves the New York Jets, which is weird because they can't win, to save their lives. But they've got the Son of God as one of their fans. But he always says, you can't meddle. You can't meddle in the affairs of game, because I think he's also betting on the side too. He might like the team, but he's also betting against them. That's probably why he likes him so much. Certainly not because they had Mark Sanchez for 3 fucking seasons and were the laughing stock of the league. I mean, the guy likes to garden, but I mean, I think everybody gets him something. He gets him some sort of garden weasel or rake or something. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm also exchanging gifts with old Ernest Borgnine, so I don't know, it'd be fun. I mean, I think we're just going to give each other the same fifth of 4 roses, Which, I ain't complaining. I'll happily crack mine open, and he'll crack his open, and we'll see who polishes theirs off first. Is this sounding? I think this is sounding better. It might have been a little hot those first two minutes or whatever. I don't even know. I haven't been paying any attention to this episode. Mind of the Machine. That's the name of the episode. Wonder what machine they're talking about. If they're talking about Airwolf. Sorry again that it took, a minute to go get from episode 10 to this one. Don't think I don't think about you. And I'm, definitely giving a shout out to Mary Baybeck. And, and the haters too. I'm thinking about you too. I'm probably thinking about you more, to be perfectly fucking blunt. Any of you motherfuckers want to leave any more comments saying, I should stop talking about my missing leg, or, that I deserve whatever happened to me because of my boozing. Somebody had the fucking gall to leave that. Unfucking believable. But I do appreciate any comments, because any traction helps get this pushed into the algorithm a little bit more. Some of the numbers have been going down, and that's I'm sure it's due to, 2 months in between each fucking episode. It takes me 40 fucking minutes to watch one of these and talk literal nonsense. And nothing about, I like the shot of us hugging though, but she said, Target is destroyed, and, that meant a different thing in 2020, if you know what I mean. Mostly peaceful protests and all that stuff. Suddenly, the whole neighborhood's been burned down. I don't know why I started bringing that up. Jan Michael likes to stay apolitical. Just funny to me is all. David Carradine really did have a, and look, I'll say this with, I'll give you my whole goddamn, all the notches in my belt. Right, commercial. I'll let you know that I've laid a few women, but David Carradine, he had some sexy eyes, man. They're slightly droopy or something. I don't know. Looks like he's half asleep, but, He had some odd sex appeal. You never hear women say, I thought David Carradine was hot. I mean, especially in that era, because it was all Newman and Redford and Burt and all those guys. True studs. I mean, just, Warren Beatty even, you know. But no, and David did all right. I'm sure. I don't need to tell you about the notches in his belt either. I mean, he did pretty good. I don't know if he hit JMV numbers. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe one day we'll throw a few back and compare numbers, compare stats. You know, and hopefully it doesn't end with both of us, belt buckled to the door handle or whatever the fuck he was doing. That's not my thing, though. I gotta be honest. Keep your hands off my neck. Belts to hold up your Levi's. Oh shit! Dropped my cigarette. Keith Carradine was a fairly big star for a while. Damn, is that helicopter really doing that? Is that for real? It's fucking doing things like a driving school exam. Jesus Christ, that was fucking pretty cool. maybe, because trust me, I wasn't there when they shot it. I mean, I was probably at the club. I was at the King Eddie, but that was fucking rad. They should. Why didn't they do that every episode? I love how both retro and futuristic equipment like that looks. I hope we're all in the same part of the show here. So I just blew up an old army Jeep. Carradine's in a scientist coat, and he's like in a weird kind of control center, I guess. I zoned out there for a second. What am I doing? All right. As the show got more popular, we were able to start bringing in some kind of relatively big names like David, to play the bad guys or whatever, and that was kind of a thing back then in TV. The star of a one show that maybe it wasn't on the air anymore, but people still recognized him. Would come on and play the heavy, and it was talked about a lot in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was a very cool movie and really kind of captures all of this. Captures all this show business shit and. But we would have like as the seasons went on. We'd have pretty cool, great actors come in, and like Lance Legat. He was the heavy in one or two, and trying to think who else. Who else did a few? Anthony Quinn's son, I remember, showed up once. That guy, let me tell you something. That guy, I don't. How do I say this without ruining my whole career? He was like Rain Man when it came to memorizing the script. Do you know what I mean? Like he had a photographic memory or something, because he came in to audition, and lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, he came in. He he was like, I'm off book, because when you audition, you usually just have the script and kind of read the lines, to each other, and he was like, I'm off book. I know every line of this, and starts rattling off, page 22 or whatever, and I mean word for fucking word. He knew everyone else's lines. Uh, you know, Meanwhile, I'm the star of the show. I haven't even looked at the thing. I've had it, 2 weeks probably. But yeah, he just, when we called him and told him he had the part, and he, kind of came on set. He just said he had like, that gift of like, stepping in to a production and already being able to memorize the whole thing. And he was telling me the story of he got hired on a play. A real low rent kind of thing. That it only ran maybe four weekends or something in a row at like this really crappy theater on Melrose Avenue. And the theater itself wasn't even on the street. It was behind, in the back of a Colombian restaurant. So, they're two separate buildings, so it was behind that, and they shared a parking lot. Colombian restaurant, by the way, was delicious, let me tell you. They had, those balls that have, like, the beef in them, the breaded balls. I forget what they're called, but, you just get a couple of those and snack and stuff, and they're really, really good. Look at that, there's Carradine getting a little piece. Uh-oh, I got a boner. No, just kidding. Dropped my fork. Anyway, back to the story. So, Quinn's telling me that, his buddy is in the production, and they had their co-lead drop out and asked him, hey, do you want to step in and play the role? Because they opened in like 2 days, or were supposed to, or whatever. And the play was like took place, this is the 70s, right? I think it's like 76, 77. It takes place in New York. And it's this like loser artist who, everybody thinks should give it up or whatever. And he sees the ghosts of Van Gogh. And Van Gogh comes to visit him, and, whatever. But here's the kick of it. You ready? You're not going to believe who was the writer and also directed this play. I could give you 100 guesses. You'll never know. So I'll tell you. Well, I'll give you a hint, actually. How about that? And the hint is, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. That's right. Rod Roddy wrote a play and directed it in Los Angeles in the 70s. And it starred my buddy and co-star for Airwolf, Anthony Tyler Quinn, and the son of Lucille Ball and then Desi Arnaz. The one that he was in a band. He was in a band in the 60s with Dean Martin's son. And someone else. It was three of them. They were like rich celebrity kids trying to be the Birds or something, you know? Dino and Paul, was it Paul? Ricky? Was he named after? I really like, hold on real quick. Let me look that up. Dino, Paul, and Billy. Desi. Desi was his name. Yeah. They were an American singing trio that existed between 1964 and 1969. The group featured Dean Dino Martin, Dean Paul Martin, son of singer and actor Dean Martin, Desi Arnaz Jr., or Desidero Arnaz the fourth, the son of television stars Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball, and their friend Billy Hinchel. Okay. So this play is terrible. You know, Anthony shows up. He's supposed to play the brother of the guy who's the painter, the bad painter, which was Desi Ball. And then I forget who played Van Gogh. It was probably like Dolph Lundgren's first role or something. You know what I mean? I mean, this was just low rent as can be, and anybody in Hollywood who could, you know, I think all you had to do was show up on time and you got the role. But so they do this and it's just terrible, and they barely make it out of the first weekend. You know, they get terrible reviews, I think, in like the LA Weekly, and then, you know, really thin audiences. So this is not a success. And according to my buddy Tony, okay, so you know, this is what he told me. He said Desi liked to throw him back a little bit during the play, during the show. You know what I mean? And, you know, because he, again, much like me, much like Carradine, you know, had a little success. But not only that, he has two famous parents. I mean, probably the greatest comedian, you know, it's a female comedian. And one of the most successful TV stars, regardless of genitalia, you know. Those are his parents. So that ain't easy. That ain't easy one bit. And you know, he just he was boozing a lot, and you know, during the play. So you know, anytime he walked off stage and it was a scene between Tony or it was Van Gogh or whatever, you know, he would start, you know, taking a little nip off the flask or whatever, and it was getting to be a real problem. And they had to address it, I think, at the start of the second weekend. Because I think that maybe they were doing a Thursday show too, and he had just got flat out too drunk to even record. To record, I mean, to do the play. So they have a cast meeting with Rod Roddy. And he's like, look, I like to have a nip, or throw one back as much as the next guy, but we just got to make sure we're staying professional, not getting too drunk. Just maintain. And so then that night, Tony says they had the worst show that they ever had. And I mean, Desi was just, I think he passed out during a scene, and then they had to like kind of wake him up, get some water, and splash it on his face. Next day, another cast meeting. Roddy goes, "All right, no more drinking, no more. That's it." So that's just an incredible flip flop there, which that kind of always makes me laugh. So they had banned drinking from the show, and then I don't know if that was the next day or whatever it was, but Tony said that he and Desi were having some lunch at that Colombian restaurant, and he said he noticed Desi had this kind of faraway look, like that 1,000-yard stare while I was eating, whatever. And, Anthony goes, what's up? What's wrong? And Desi just takes a drag off the cigarette and goes, my parents are coming to the play tomorrow. And Anthony says, what are you talking about? And Desi goes, Lucy and my dad, they want to come see the show. So now Brian's, completely distraught here. He goes, Desi, are you telling me that Lucille Ball is going to come to this piece of shit play? And Desi's still just looking off, into the distance. And he goes, yeah, that's what I said. And Tony's like, I can't, this can't happen. I can't have Lucille Ball see me in this play. I mean, this absolutely cannot happen. And he said Desi just kind of shrugged and, stubbed out his cigarette and just went back to eating his lunch. Story has a happy ending, though. That night, that production, Desi somehow snuck in some booze or whatever, had a flask or whatever. He's just, 3 sheets to the wind. They get through the production, but right after it, Roddy goes, pack your shit and get the fuck out, because you're fired. And I don't know, they got some other, no name come in. Somebody who didn't have all that baggage, didn't have rich parents, didn't have whatever. And I guess they finished out the show with that guy. But it's just a little Hollywood story there for you. It's not always pretty. Oh, man, I am getting hungry. How many more fucking minutes are in this episode? 20? Jesus Christ. I haven't been paying attention one bit. I mean, I don't know. Are you guys, what is going on here? Are you guys playing this while you're watching the show? Have you seen the show before or what? You know what I mean? I appreciate however you're doing it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I'm still all fucking hung up on what to get old JC. think I might get some rum in here. A lot of good ramen places up here in heaven. I mean, there's just a lot of great food, regardless of, whatever. We're incredibly blessed to have all types of dead people up in heaven, white, black, Asian, Australian, Russian, Japanese. And it's a true melting pot up here, and it's pretty fucking great. That's shot. If you guys were all at the same place, that two guards looking at each other and whatever. That's called day for night. What happens there is the scene has to take place at night, but schedule doesn't allow the night shoot. So they used to be able to put a special filter on there on the camera that allowed you to shoot during the day and make it look like nighttime. So day for night. I really succinctly summed that up. I'm kind of proud of myself. I hadn't thought to bring it up. I just kind of saw it, and I know that it's inside baseball for everybody. And but yeah, I really fucking kind of nailed that definition, didn't I? Maybe I'll get some Indian food. What do you think about that? Who doesn't love good Indian food? Well, it's actually funny. I didn't love Indian food before, but I was with a gal, and she lived in West Hollywood, and kind of like by Fairfax. So there's like the Ethiopian district there. I know Ethiopia. I know Jan Michael knows the difference. All right, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ, I could feel getting the pitchfork from the closet. But she was also very big into Indian food and stuff, and my thing is that it's never looked all that good, and but I mean it smells good, and it's everything. I mean, it's just I gotta see if I can get. Okay. Sometimes I forget to order the naan, and then I'm just kind of fucking stuck with whatever. Using my fingers, which I actually think they do in India. Isn't that weird? They kind of eat everything with their fingers. It sounds a little messy, and I think I've heard something else too. It has to do about the bathroom, but I don't want to bring that up here because A, I'm going to eat here, and B, not that important to again jeopardize whatever I'm doing because of how people get. Has the way people in India live has nothing to do with Airwolf, and I'm going to keep it like that. So. But I need to eat something. I don't want to fucking spend $40 goddamn dollars on Indian food. It's already 8:30 up here in heaven, so it means it's not going to get here until 9:30 probably. That's just way too late to be eating anything, let alone anything spicy with curry, Yeah, I'll tell you what I've been really sort of lacking for up here in heaven is It's a good prime rib. There's not a lot. It's very surprising, actually. There's not a lot of prime rib places up here. You know, the kind of old school booths and, you know, the wood paneling kind of place. You know what I'm talking about? You know, like if you're familiar with Los Angeles, you got your smokehouses, you got your Taylor's in Koreatown, you got the Tam O'Shanter in there in Atwater Village. Where's that? That one Hawaiian themed place in Glendale was pretty good too. We're a commercial, by the way. Yeah, there's not a lot of them up here, and what I find odd is that, I mean, who's fucking dropping dead of a heart attack more than, you know, your fella who loved to kick it back at the smokehouse and get a prime rib and a Manhattan, you know, and smoke 10 cigarettes and bitch about his job and his wife. You know, what is that? Where's that guy? You know, he's got to be up here, right? I don't think you go to hell because you're a little fed up with the nagging. That's not a cardinal sin, is it? Look at this. What the fuck is going on here? Showing her ass, you know, to these two guys where they're going to fall for it on a fucking military base, and they're like, oh, here's a fitness instructor just showing us her panty line. No, but I would kill for a prime rib, man. I used to love going up to that smokehouse in Burbank. Because I tell you what, I don't know what it was like. I rarely went up there when I was my last years on Earth, but dude, I mean the '70s and '80s Burbank. A lot of people don't talk about it. It was a real free for all up there. I don't know what I don't know what was going on with the police department. I don't know whatever, because I think it was like a hangover from the '60s and '70s of L.A. and the Valley, and it kind of finally trickled over to Burbank. But I mean, you know, Johnny Carson would, you know, he'd be at the smokehouse all the time. I'd see him, yeah, and he'd crawl to his car, and you know, I think they arrested him once or twice for DUI. But I mean, you know, that they just had to show that they were actually on the clock, because I mean that guy was every night. You know, but everyone was. Ed McMahon was. I was. You know, Tim Conway would go up to the smokehouse. Harvey Korman, all those guys. You know, if you were standing on the streets of, you know, Burbank Boulevard at around, you know, let's say 11:30 p.m., it looked like fucking bumper cars. I mean, it was just, you know, everybody behind the wheel was inebriated, and they're just smashing into each other and whatever. Nobody cared back then. You know, the cars are built like fucking tanks. You know, crash into each other, you know, just wave it off, you know. You're probably going to the same place. You know, take it over to the auto parts shop and they just hammer it out the next day. It was like no big deal. You know, cars now they just crumble, you know, like cheese the minute they get into an accident. But anyway, the smokehouse did a hell of a prime rib. I mean, they just did they used to have what they call the smokehouse cut. And it was about, I can't know how many ounces it was, but I mean, it was a pretty penny. You know, back in the '70s, I think it was $12, which, you know, that's a week's pay for half of America. Oh shit, Garrison got shot. I like that outfit, that black leather jacket and gray turtleneck. Maybe I might try and pull that off a little bit sometime. Don't worry about Airwolf. Yeah. Come on, lady. Get real. Great place to listen to music, too, with Smokehouse. I think every Friday and Saturday night they had some sort of bar band in there. And I remember there's some black guys that kind of play there from time to time. They would do all the Motown stuff, and they would do rock songs, but they would do it in the style of Motown. You know, some Rolling Stone stuff, and I mean they were just great. I really thought they should have gone places, but I mean that's just a fun time, man. I could see it now. Just kind of in a smoke-filled bar, and just brassy music blaring, and everyone's kind of on the dance floor, and everyone's pouring a stiff drink. Didn't have those spigots that you put on the bottle now, so it measures it perfectly out to 3 ounces or whatever. I mean, bartenders in the 70s, I mean, looked like a garden hose, just kind of whatever. Every drink was filled to the brim, let's say. Manhattan, Tom Collins, Brandy Alexander came in a Steiner. Just, you're just chugging it left and right. And again, just getting in the goddamn car and, throwing caution to the wind. Cops nowhere to be seen. Or I don't know, they were in another part of town or whatever was going on. And not like it mattered anyway. You got busted for drunk driving back then. It was just, slap on the wrist and, $50 fine or something. They didn't flog you in the middle of town like they do now. You can blame the women of Mad for that. They used to go to DUI hearings and sit in the audience, to pressure the judge to create a harsher penalty. They did that all around the country. A lot of people don't. That's why it's so goddamn expensive now. You get a DUI. The Mad ladies. They would ask for time in court to talk about how their kid got killed and stuff. And look, that's sad. All right, I'm not saying it's not, but sometimes those things happen. And if somebody commits a crime but didn't hit anybody or anything, maybe we shouldn't ruin their life. That's not the answer. And just here's an unrelated side note. The woman who founded MAD got busted for drunk driving. And do you think that they showed up to her hearing? Yeah. So I think I also better check that before Oh, Jan Michael gets sued. I'm pretty sure that's true, though. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Mothers Against... I can't spell anything. Oh, there it is. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Here we go. Doop. I really hope I'm right on that. Candace Lightner. Is that her? Here we go. I like that I'm Googling. I Googled the King Eddie, and now I'm Googling Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. I think my algorithm's going to be a little on the fritz for a minute. Her name was Candy Lighter. What a fucking bizarre name is that? There we go. But did she get a DUI? Mothers Against Drunk Driving strips founder of 2 major posts. So I think this is in 85, too. And then she started working. And this is interesting. This woman is... So this is from the Los Angeles Times in 1994. And the headline says, the company she keeps, drunk driving. So those are colons in between each of those. That's a weird headline. Candy Lightner says she still wants reforms. But now that the Mad founder works for restaurants, some wonder whose side she's really on. So she joined a consulting firm that represents restaurants that serve alcohol. And one person, a typical headline was, Mad founder switches sides, becomes a lobbyist for the liquor industry. And I don't subscribe to the Los Angeles Times, so that's as far as I can go. But did she get a DUI? Yeah. Okay, here we go. There's been a critical error on this website. But it does, okay, I can't click on it, but it says former Mad president charged with DUI. In Taos. Huh. Okay, here, Daily Mail. All right, here we go. Oh, somebody else. Oh, sorry, Candy. A woman named Deborah Oberlin. A former president of MAD was arrested for being nearly 3 times over the alcohol limit. She'd been out to watch a friend play at an acoustic night. Oy, oy, oy. I was giving somebody a lift home because she thought they were over the limit. I didn't want them to drive. I didn't know I was intoxicated. I hadn't eaten all day. I thought I was overtired and I was hungry. I screwed up. I'm really sorry. Well, I'm sure you are sorry, and you definitely did screw up. Is that the end of the episode? Is that how we're ending this? Yeah, the episode's over. All right, well, look, all I'm saying is don't be a fucking hypocrite in life. You know what I mean? And, know that people make mistakes, and maybe, instead of coming down on them even harder, offer some empathy, offer some forgiveness. Because ultimately, those things will better guide them in life than, stripping a man, because it's usually a man, of their livelihood and everything else, right? Okay. That's it for me. Thanks for comment. Sorry about the technical issues, and if this sounds like butthole, I'm sorry. All right, later.